Do you ever feel like you're not getting what you truly desire? Perhaps you dream of a better job, more financial freedom, a healthier lifestyle, or even deeper, more meaningful relationships. Many of us feel this way, and often it's not because we lack intelligence or ability. The real reason is often something much deeper, something that silently holds us back. Welcome, English learners, to English Journey. I'm Celine, and my mission is to help you grow personally while mastering English. We release new videos every day to help you improve your English and change your life. Today, we are going to talk about a secret, a powerful secret that can help you get anything you want in life. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll have a clear path to unlocking your own potential. But before we dive in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more valuable content for you. Also, stay tuned for some key takeaways and a short quiz at the end to test your understanding. The hidden obstacle, self-doubt. What is this invisible force that prevents us from reaching our goals? It is often rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, or the fear of simply not being good enough. All these fears, if we trace them back, come from one primary source, self-doubt. Self-doubt is more than just a feeling. It's like a persistent story we tell ourselves. It's the inner voice that whispers, "I can't do this," or "It's simply not possible for someone like me." It convinces us that we will be rejected or that we are destined to fail. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever had a brilliant idea, a clear vision of something you wanted to achieve, but then hesitated to act on it? Perhaps you spent too much time thinking about all the things that could go wrong. Interestingly, very smart people are often exceptionally good at predicting every possible negative outcome. While being able to foresee problems can be useful, this ability can also paralyze us, stopping us from taking any action at all. But here's a truly powerful and often overlooked idea. Boldness is frequently a stronger indicator of success than mere intelligence. While smart people might dwell on the potential pitfalls and negative consequences, bold people tend to focus on all the wonderful things that will happen when things go right. This is not to say that smart people cannot be bold, or that bold people cannot be smart. It simply highlights that boldness is a crucial ingredient, a secret sauce, as Jennifer Cohen calls it, that sets you on the path to success. So, the fundamental question becomes, how do we conquer this crippling self-doubt and cultivate the courage to be bold? The answer, surprisingly, is much simpler than most people imagine. The simple, yet profound, secret, ask. The absolute core secret to getting what you want in life, the very essence of it, is this. You need to ask for what you want. That's the entire message. Just ask. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But pause for a moment and consider. How many times have you genuinely desired something, a new opportunity, a different outcome, a specific help, but never actually articulated that desire? We often hesitate, overthink every possible scenario, or simply assume the answer will be no before we even open our mouths. The art of asking is, without exaggeration, one of the most important skills you can master in life. It's not merely enough to be a diligent worker or a talented individual. You also need to become a proficient asker. 3 key points about asking and receiving. Let's delve deeper into 3 crucial insights about asking that can profoundly transform your life and help you achieve your aspirations. 1. Asking is the beginning of receiving. The moment you ask, you initiate a unique and powerful process, both mentally and emotionally. We may not fully comprehend the intricate mechanisms of how it works, but what we do know for certain is that it does work. It's akin to pushing a button that sets complex machinery into motion. You don't necessarily need to understand the mechanics of the machine. Your job is simply to push the button. Some individuals spend all their time meticulously studying the roots, trying to understand every single detail, while others simply focus on picking the fruit, enjoying the results. Which approach do you prefer? To pick the fruit, you must first start the process by asking. 2. Receiving is not the problem. The surprising truth is that receiving is often automatic. If receiving itself isn't the obstacle, then what truly is? More often than not, the primary problem is the failure to ask in the first place. Consider this common scenario. Someone might have worked incredibly hard all year, putting in countless hours, but they never bothered to write down their specific goals. They were a commendable worker, but a poor asker. To truly achieve what you desire, you absolutely must change this pattern. 3. Receiving is like the ocean. There is plenty. Success, contrary to popular belief, is not in short supply. It isn't rationed, meaning there's not a limited amount that can run out, as if you stepped up to a window only to find it all gone. No, receiving is like an immense ocean. If there's such an abundance available, then what accounts for the struggles many people face? The core issue is that some individuals approach this vast ocean with nothing more than a tiny teaspoon. Can you visualize that? To truly benefit from the ocean's bounty, you need to exchange your small teaspoon for at least a larger bucket. You'll look much better at the ocean with a bucket, and no one will make fun of you. How to ask effectively. 2 important ways. Now that we deeply understand the profound importance of asking, let's learn how to ask in the most effective and powerful ways. 1. Ask with intelligence. This doesn't just mean asking smartly, but rather asking with extreme clarity and specificity. Do not mumble or be vague. You won't gain anything by being unclear. Intelligent asking involves precisely defining and describing what you want. How wide, how high, how soon, when, what specific size, what color, and how much. When you articulate your desires with such precision, your goals transform into powerful magnets. They begin to pull you in their direction, and the more vividly and accurately you describe them, the stronger their pull becomes. 2. Ask with faith. This aspect taps into the innocent yet powerful belief system of a child. It's about genuinely believing that you can obtain what you want, just like a child believes without skepticism. Adults, unfortunately, often become too cynical and skeptical. Here's a truly powerful formula. Make your plans with the meticulous detail and logic of an adult, but then believe in those plans with the boundless, unshakable faith of a child. When you combine these 2 elements, the most incredible things will begin to happen in your life. Just try this approach for 90 days. You always have the option to revert to your old ways if it doesn't yield results, but give it a sincere 90-day trial. The world truly admires those who take action and become doers. Words have power. Using magic words to get what you want. Beyond the act of simply asking, The way you formulate your questions and statements can make an immense difference. Words possess incredible power. By making subtle adjustments to your questions, you can elicit completely different responses and guide conversations in the direction you desire. Let me illustrate with a simple example. If I were to ask you, "Can I have your phone number?" you have the option to respond with a simple yes or no. However, if I were to ask, "What's your phone number?" you would almost instinctively and immediately provide the answer. This is because the second question directly assumes you will give it, making it harder to refuse. These kinds of powerful questions speak directly to someone's subconscious mind, that part of the mind that processes information quickly without overthinking and often responds with a simple yes or no. Here are some incredibly effective magic words and phrases you can strategically use to influence conversations and achieve your desired outcomes, drawing wisdom from a best-selling book. 1. Would you be open-minded to? Everyone desires to be perceived as open-minded. If I were to ask you, would you be open-minded to trying these magic words to get what you want? You would most likely say yes. This is because it's a natural human desire to be seen as receptive and flexible. However, if I simply asked, would you try these magic words to get what you want? Your chances of saying yes might be only 50-50. By starting your question with, how open-minded are you? And then mentioning what you want them to try, you make yes the comfortable and almost automatic answer. No one wants to be perceived as closed-minded. They may think you're giving them a choice, but you're essentially making yes the only easy option. Examples. Would you be open-minded to try these new ideas? Would you be open-minded to try this new approach for our work? Would you be open-minded to try a different menu this time? 2. Just out of curiosity, what is it specifically you need to think about? Imagine a situation where you've invested time understanding a client's needs and presented a detailed solution. They respond with, "I need to think about it." Instead of feeling frustrated or pushing back, tweak your response by saying, just out of curiosity, what is it specifically you need to think about? Or, just out of curiosity, what's stopping you from moving forward right now? Then, stay silent. Don't judge. One of two things might happen. They'll provide an honest answer about their concern, allowing you to discuss it further, or they'll remain silent, perhaps looking for another excuse, and then realize they have none. They might even say, "You know what? You're right. There's nothing to think about." Deep down, people usually know the right decision, but they often delay or avoid it. By asking just out of curiosity, you help them achieve clarity. 3. If I can, will you? This powerful phrase helps you uncover the real reason someone might be hesitating or unable to do something. An example, your friend says they can't join you for dinner because they don't have a ride. You could say, "If I can pick you up, will you join us?" If they still say no, you'll then discover the real reason why they can't join. Another example, a client says your price is too high. You could ask, "If I can lower the price, will you take the service?" If they say no, it means the price isn't the true issue. If they say yes, remember, you haven't promised to do anything yet. You're just asking if solving that one problem would close the deal. Once they agree, you can then offer your best solution. 4. When would be a good time? Sometimes, your brilliant idea might not get heard simply because the other person claims they don't have the time to consider it. By asking, "When would be a good time to have a quick chat about this?" Or, when would be a good time to talk about our vacation plans? You subtly make the other person assume that there will be a good time, and that no is not an acceptable option. Now, it's just a matter of confirming the specific time and date. 5. What happens next? Let's say you've presented your idea and the other person has nodded and smiled throughout, but then the conversation simply stops, and no one is taking the next step. This often happens because people are afraid of appearing pushy, so instead of leaving the decision-making entirely to them and hoping they'll make the right choice, which they often won't without your direction, you continue the conversation with, what happens next? Example, imagine you're a real estate agent selling a house. You might say, what happens next is that we're going to take a few moments to complete some of your personal details in this form so that we can send you the important agreements. After explaining the next steps, end with a very easy question like, in terms of sending the agreements, what's your best email address? The easier your question, the faster you'll get a response. The moment they respond with their address, it means they are moving forward with your proposal. At 6, what do you know? This is a remarkably effective question when you're dealing with someone who always believes they know best and might even try to lecture you with their opinions. To handle this, you need to gently shift that person from being overly confident to introducing a bit of doubt. You achieve this by asking, what do you know about? Example, you suggest a new restaurant to your friend, and she immediately says, that new restaurant? Nah, it's bad. You can then ask her, what do you know about their menu? She might then realize that she hasn't even tried the food, so her opinion has no solid evidence. This question allows the other person to realize their opinion might not be entirely correct, making them much more receptive to new ideas. This soft approach also helps them save face, meaning they don't feel embarrassed. And if they have tried the menu, at least you'll understand where their opinion comes from. Your goal here is not to win an argument, but to question the basis of their opinion's knowledge. Asking, what do you know, helps you challenge with confidence. 7. I'm guessing you haven't got around to... Use this phrase when someone has promised you something and you want to follow up, but you suspect they might use the same excuse again. Instead of directly asking how things went, you can start the conversation with, I'm guessing you haven't got around to... Example, you're calling a client who said they needed to discuss something with their partner before making a decision. You call them and say, I'm guessing you haven't got around to discussing with your partner. Now, they cannot use the same excuse again. They will respond in one of 2 ways. Either they'll feel proud that they've done what they promised, or they'll be embarrassed that they haven't and will make a new promise to fix it. 8. I'm not sure if it's for you, but... Opening a statement with the phrase, I'm not sure if it's for you, immediately causes the listener's subconscious brain to interpret, there's no pressure here. By suggesting that they might not be interested, you ironically increase their curiosity. They instantly become curious about what you're going to say next. The true magic, however, lies in the word but. Imagine your boss saying, you know that you're a really valuable member of the team. We love everything that you do here, but some things need to change. What is the only part you will remember most clearly? Everything that came after the word but. The word but has the power to erase everything that was said before it, making people focus on what comes next. So, when you say to somebody, I'm not sure if it's for you, but... the little voice inside your listener's head hears, you might want to look at this. Let's see some examples. I'm not sure if it's for you, but would you happen to know someone who is interested in this product? I'm not sure if it's for you, but I found how to ask better questions to get what I want every time. I'm not sure if it's for you, but we have plans on the Saturday, and you're welcome to join us. Your listeners will typically respond in one of two ways. They'll ask for more information because they are interested, or at worst, they'll say they'll think about it. This powerful phrase also helps you overcome the fear of rejection when sharing your ideas, products, or services with others. 9. Just imagine every single decision we make actually happens twice, first in our mind and then in reality. If you cannot vividly picture yourself doing something, it's highly unlikely you will actually do it. Therefore, you need to help your listener imagine it first by simply saying, "Just imagine." Their mind will automatically begin to create the scenario, making them far more likely to act on it. Let's try these. Just imagine driving your brand new car bought in cash. Just imagine how rich your life is once you have achieved financial freedom. Once you see yourselves in those imaginations, you're more likely to take the actions necessary to achieve them. 10. Before you make your mind up. You might not always be able to turn someone's no into an immediate yes, but you can almost always turn that no into a maybe. You do this by saying, "before you make your mind up." Example, your team might disagree with your new idea. You could say, "before you make your mind up, let's look at how this worked for our competitor." Or if your spouse disagrees with your preferred holiday location, you could say, "before you make your mind up, let me show you some reviews and photos from people who have been to that place." When you use this phrase, you encourage the other person to reconsider your idea. It provides you with an opportunity to share new information that supports your idea, helping them to view it again from a different perspective. You are now increasing your influence over their decision. 11. Most people. Sometimes people struggle to make a decision. They will feel more confident if they know that other people, similar to them, have already made that decision and that it worked out well. If you say, "here's what you should do," you might sound bossy and rude. So change it to "most people." Example, let's say you're selling an online course and a potential customer isn't sure whether to buy the basic or the premium package. Instead of saying, "here's what you should do," and you could change it to, "what most people do is they try the trial version first, which is free for 7 days. After that, they decide whether to go for the basic or the premium one." You don't sound too pushy, right? When people hear "most people," their brain will often think, "I'm most people, so maybe I should do that too." 12. Could you do me a small favor? When is the absolute best time to ask someone for a favor? The answer is when they say "thank you" after you have done something good for them. Example, let's say you run a business and you want more customers. The ideal time to ask for a referral is when a happy customer thanks you. After they say, "thanks so much," you can follow up with, "could you do me a small favor? Do you know one person just like you who would benefit from this, like you do?" It's simple and feels very natural. 13. You have 3 options. People generally dislike feeling manipulated and strongly desire to feel that they made the final decision themselves. When someone needs help making a decision, you can use this phrase to make it easier for them to choose. As I see it, you have 3 options. Let me explain how this works. First, the number 3 makes it easy to listen. Second, this phrase makes it seem like you are helping them see all their choices. And here's the trick for arranging the 3 options. Mention the weaker option first and second, and then leave your preferred choice as the last one so that it appears to be the most logical and attractive. Example, imagine you are looking for someone to join your business, and that person is hesitating to make a decision. Here's what you could say. So you're currently in a job that you hate. You're not enjoying it much. The hours are long. You don't have time with your family, and the pay is not that good. We've shown you a business opportunity. You like it, but you're not sure. As I see it, you have 3 options. First, you could look for another job, work on your resume, send out applications, go through interviews, and work through that entire process again, and maybe you could end up with similar work for similar pay. Second, you could do nothing, stay exactly where you are, and just deal with it. Third, you could try to work on this alongside your current job and see how far you go. Then crucially, you end with another magic word. Of those 3 options, what's going to be easiest for you? See how this works? What's easiest means they have to pick one. Option number 1 seems like too much work, so that's off the table. Option number 2, staying the same, is also a big no. That leaves option number 3 as the only one that seems easy. Watch how people effortlessly pick the one you want them to pick by using this trick. 14. What makes you say that? To succeed in negotiation, you need to be able to control the conversation. You can gain control by asking questions. Simply ask, what makes you say that? And importantly, do not judge before they answer. What you are essentially asking them to do is to explain themselves properly. The question, what makes you see that, means they now have to explain what they truly mean. Let's see some examples. You want to have a meeting with your team, and someone says, I don't have time to join you. You ask, what makes you say that? You invite a friend to join your gym, but he says, I don't feel like going. You ask, what makes you say that? No matter what excuse they give you, this question helps you understand their real reason. And when you understand their real reason, you can either help them solve it or accept their decision with a better understanding. 15. There are 2 types of people. Many people are skilled at making others interested in something, but the truly challenging part is that final moment when you help someone make a decision, which is crucial for driving results. So how do you do that? You offer them 2 choices and make one of them clearly stand out as the easy or desirable option to attract them. To hook them even better, start with this phrase. There are 2 types of people in this world. They will instantly wonder, okay, which one am I? They are now eager to hear the 2 choices. Example, there are 2 types of people in this world. Those who let others control their life, and those who take full responsibility and create their own future. One choice is made to sound very good, while the other is made to sound very bad. People will naturally pick the good one, which is exactly what you wanted them to pick all along. 16. The good news is, to transform negative energy into positive energy, start with the phrase, the good news is. This technique is called labeling. The moment you apply a positive label to something, it becomes impossible for the other person to remove that label. Using the good news is ensures the other person has to accept the positive label you've attached to it. An example, if someone expresses self-doubt, say, the good news is many people felt exactly like you when they started. Now they're successful, and you can be like them too. By starting with the good news is, you help people look forward with optimism and remove negativity from the conversation. And here's another phrase to add when people give excuses as to why they are not ready to move forward. That's great. Look, when somebody gives you an excuse, they expect you to push back and argue against that point. Instead, just respond to it positively by saying, "That's great. You just found out another way that doesn't work." And watch how they look at you differently. When you use "the good news is" and respond with "that's great," you help people shift their thoughts in a positive direction. 17. How would you feel if you want people to do something, first find a reason big enough to motivate them? People are primarily motivated by either avoiding a loss or acquiring something. Interestingly, they will often work extra hard to avoid a loss. Second, you must know that people make decisions based on emotion first, before logic. So, if you want them to do something, make them feel it first by asking, "How would you feel if—" Example, "How would you feel if this time next year you were debt-free, living in your dream home, and planning your next vacation?" See what happened? I'm making you feel a wonderful future here. Here's another one, focusing on avoiding loss. How would you feel if your competitor took your best employee? See the difference? People often work harder to avoid losing what they already have than to gain something new. The greater the contrast between where they are now and that future scenario, whether it's positive or negative, the more motivated they'll be to act. Embrace boldness, the 10% target. Let's revisit the remarkable story of Jennifer Cohen, who, at 18 years old, had a grand dream of becoming a VJ for Much Music, like MTV. She knew the job was incredibly competitive, so she decided she needed a phenomenal demo tape. Her bold idea: to get Keanu Reeves, then a huge movie star, to appear on her tape. Everyone laughed at her, but she went to the theater where he was performing, waited for hours in the freezing cold, and when he finally appeared, she boldly walked through crowds of fans and media, tapped him on the shoulder, and declared, "Keanu, you're gonna be my ticket to my dream job." He was stunned, offering an autograph, but she insisted she needed him for her dream job. She even got his number, and surprisingly, he called her back. 2 days later, Keanu Reeves was sitting on her parents' sofa with Jennifer and her friends filming him for her demo tape. Did she get the greatest demo tape of all time? Absolutely. Did she get the job interview at Much Music? Yes. Did she get the audition? Yes. Did she get the job? No, she didn't. So why is this story so important? Because it taught Jennifer a vital truth about success. You need to ask for what you want, period. As the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, meaning the one who asks or speaks up gets attention and help. Many people don't get the job they want because they don't actually pursue that specific job. Instead, they simply look at what's readily available online. Similarly, many don't earn the money they desire because they never even ask for a raise. A survey of over 160,000 people who felt they deserved more money revealed that 2/3 of them never even asked for a raise. But here's the powerful part. Of the 70% who did ask for a raise, they got it. What does this tell you? Asking works. Boldness is not an inherent trait you are born with. It's a skill like any other that you can practice and continuously improve. Jennifer Cohen developed a powerful mindset she calls the 10% target. The idea is simple. For whatever you desire most in life, commit to making 10 attempts. The significant problem is that most people don't even make one attempt. They disqualify themselves, calling themselves out before they even try. The very purpose of the 10% target is to become completely comfortable with the idea of failing 90% of the time. Why is this so important? Because Jennifer guarantees that if you make 10 genuine attempts at anything, at least one of them will be successful. You will either achieve the exact thing you wanted, or you will gain something else entirely, something you never even knew was possible or available to you. Consider a relatable example. When you go to a restaurant, most of us simply order what's listed on the menu. But what being bold truly means is ordering off the menu, asking for something specific that might not be explicitly listed, but can be created from the available ingredients. When you are comfortable asking for these small things in life, it builds the crucial skills, positive habits, and unwavering confidence required to ask for the big things in your life. To practice becoming comfortable with failing 9 out of 10 times, the answer is simple: practice. The more you consistently do something over and over again, the more it becomes your new normal. Just as you would train your body to become physically strong, you can train your brain to become bold. Your action item for today. Take a moment right now. Write down anything you want most in life. Then, make a firm commitment to make 10 attempts to achieve it. You must embrace the 10% target. You must commit to making those 10 attempts. This is how you actively chase what you truly desire, instead of passively accepting only what you could get. Jennifer Cohen herself is living proof that when you chase what you want and don't just settle for what you can get, you become exponentially happier and more satisfied with your life. The one thing she knows for sure about the 10% target is that it works 100% of the time. Why? Because you either obtain the one thing you wanted, or you discover something even better, the thing you were truly meant to do. Recap/takeaways. Let's quickly recap the essential points we've uncovered today about getting what you want in life. Overcome self-doubt. Recognize that fear and self-doubt are the biggest internal obstacles that hold us back. Cultivate boldness, as it is often a stronger predictor of success than intelligence alone. The power of asking. The most fundamental secret is to simply ask for what you want. Asking initiates the process of receiving, and the world offers an abundance of opportunities. Ask intelligently. Be clear, precise, and specific when defining and describing what you want. This creates a strong magnet for your goals. Ask with faith. Approach your desires with the unshakable belief of a child, combining adult planning with childlike faith. Use magic words. Strategically employ specific phrases to subtly influence conversations, overcome objections, and make it easier to receive a yes. Embrace the 10% target. Commit to making 10 attempts for anything you truly desire. This practice builds resilience, makes you comfortable with potential failure, and significantly increases your chances of success. Practice boldness. Understand that boldness is a skill, not an inherent trait. The more you practice, the bolder you will become. Remember to like this video and subscribe to English Journey for more engaging, educational, and motivational content that will help you master English and transform your life. Quiz time. Now for a quick quiz to help you remember and reinforce these important lessons. Try to answer these questions based on what you've learned in today's video. Question 1. According to Jennifer Cohen, what is often a stronger indicator of success than intelligence? Question 2. What does the phrase, receiving is like the ocean, there is plenty, mean in the context of getting what you want? Question 3. Name 2 magic word phrases discussed in the video and briefly explain how each helps in communication. Question 4. What is the main purpose of the 10% target strategy? Question 5. Why is it important to ask with faith when pursuing your goals? Write your answers in the comments below. I'd love to see what you've learned and your thoughts on these powerful concepts. Conclusion. Thank you for joining me on English Journey today. I sincerely hope this motivational story has not only inspired you but also provided you with clear, actionable steps to start confidently asking for and receiving what you truly desire in your life. Remember, your English learning journey is deeply intertwined with your journey of personal growth and self-improvement. Keep practicing your English, keep learning new things, and most importantly, keep asking for what you want. You have the inherent power within you to achieve your dreams. See you in the next video.